Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. I have yet another crazy video for you guys and gals today. It is educational, informational, and also entertaining. You know that part's always in there. I've been covering a lot of crazy stuff lately, from grocery stores like Walmart that will be selling gold and silver so you can pick up a loaf of bread and buy some silver out the door. The spoofing, right? JP Morgan, central banks rigging or manipulating silver prices, all the way to why these premiums on these coins are so high. There's a lot of stuff going on, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of shadiness. And here's to throw even more shade. This is going to be extremely hypocritical. The critics are hypocritical. Mainstream investors, the people that are bashing, shaming silver, calling silver a bear market, a terrible investment. These are the guys that are coming into the market the strongest, piling into gold. And yes, that is so hypocritical, but it's true. Gold and silver, especially silver, is the rebellious metal. It's the rebellious metal. And I made a separate video talking about that a couple days ago, you know, why it is to such a high degree. But just to give some context, right, gold and silver is a direct threat to the US dollar because it's not pegged to the US dollar. Stock markets are, right? So you can see why mainstream, you know, why they're going to push stocks on you. When you are in debt, you're a slave to the government. When you invest in a gold and silver, you are in complete control of your wealth. So gold and silver is rebellious also, not only for that reason, but it's also unique. It's different, right? It's kind of going against the grain. And that being said, people are going to take advantage of that, of the rebellious state of it, and tweak it to persuade the audience that it's a terrible investment, when it really isn't. It's just a lot different than the average or the normal investment. Now, these people are diving into gold and silver now, and that's because they see the true value. And this reminds me of when Jamie Dimon called Bitcoin a scam. JP Morgan, they were the first people that called Bitcoin a scam, went all over the news publicly, just bashing Bitcoin. This, in return, since Bitcoin's price is highly pegged to speculation, this shot the price down, I think like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, just from him saying this. And what happened was, after he said this and the price shot down $4,000, he goes and buys up millions of dollars in Bitcoin. How do we know this? Well, because Bitcoin is ran on the blockchain. The blockchain stores every transaction publicly for everyone to see, so he couldn't hide it. So he literally went on. He used fear. He used FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. He used speculation to his advantage, and he got Bitcoin for a lot cheaper, about $4,000 or $5,000 cheaper, and he spent millions. So yes, he used that to his advantage. This is a different situation. It's more hypocritical. It's more condescending. It's more evil almost, because these people are telling you that gold and silver is a bad investment simply because not that they because they know it's not. They're trying to push you to keep going the mainstream route, and that's evil. So anyway, let's jump into what they're saying. Before we jump into this, actually, like the video, subscribe if you're new. I post daily videos. Now let's jump into the video. So mainstream investors about to pile into gold. Money managers who don't recommend gold to their clients are becoming the exception rather than the rule. Right now, gold accounts for less than 1% of global investable capital. Estimates of how much gold exists above ground are all over the place, but most cluster around an amount that yields value around $10 trillion at current prices. So that's pretty large. So UBS advises investors to put money into gold as hedge against economic uncertainty. And that's exactly what precious metals is. That's the gist of it, hedging against inflation. The dollar is depreciating over time. Gold and silver appreciates over time. The dollar is losing value over a set time frame. Gold and silver rises in value over a set time frame. So the recent weakness of gold represents a great entry point for investors ahead of risk events such as the US election. And that's so true. This could be the icing on the cake. This might be the last time we see mid $20 silver ever again. So many things are leading up to this, from the shortage, from the rising demand, all the way that started from the U.S.-China trade negotiations. But everything is leading to this moment right now. With the global pandemic and everything, the presidential election could be the icing on the cake. So anyways, we like gold because we think that gold is likely to actually hit about $2,000 per ounce by the end of the year. And it basically already did that, right? That wouldn't be too crazy. I'm focused more on silver for the bullish side, or for the extreme rally. I mean, gold already has done that. It's already expanded, and now it's kind of, the dust is settling. Silver hasn't even exploded yet. So he explained that in the event of uncertainty over the U.S. election and the pandemic, gold is very, very good hedge. And anytime there's fear, controversy, uncertainty, people don't trust banks, governments, they invest into precious metals because gold and silver are a safe haven metal. And that's only going to benefit it even more. That's only more reason why it's beneficial, or also why it's safe. According to Tay, the precious metal is also attractive due to the low interest rate environment. He pointed out that if interest rates stay low, as the U.S. Federal Reserve has indicated, the opportunity cost of holding gold, which is a non-yielding asset, will be quite low. That's because investors are not foregoing interest rates or interest that would otherwise be earned in yielding assets. So this is the time to buy gold, says Wells Fargo. Kitco, gold prices saw $200 tumble in September, which Wells Fargo is viewing as a great buying opportunity during a well-expected correction. Glass half full, glass half empty. Which one are you? When silver prices, gold prices go down, are you the one saying, man, the markets are crashing, I shouldn't have invested in this? Or are you the one looking at this as saying, wow, it's on a discount, I can get it for a sale, I better take advantage of this to lower my dollar per ounce average and buy some silver for cheaper before it goes back up? Which one are you? However you answer that question is going to heavily reflect how much money you make or how much you profit. We're buyers of gold. Wells Fargo, head of the real asset strategy, wrote Monday, after a great 7-month run, gold cooled off in August and September. Gold spot prices today sits around $200 lower than its all-time high of $2,075 in August. Gold's correction was bound to happen after the 2011 high was breached and prices rose above $2,070 an ounce in August. However, Wells Fargo's optimistic view on gold has not changed, with the bank remaining bullish on the yellow metal. The fundamental backdrop looks good. Interest rates remain low. Money supply is excessive. Quantitative easing QE, and are doubtful that the U.S. dollar's September rally has long legs. We view gold at these prices as good buying opportunities, and, as evidenced by our 2021 year-end targets, expect higher gold prices. So they're bullish. They see gold in the medium, long term. Short term really doesn't matter. Prices are going to be a little volatile, especially with all the stuff going on right now. But we're looking years ahead. I mean, the people that are looking from a day-to-day standpoint are looking too analytical. They're too focused on the little things. You got to step back and look from a much larger scale if you want to invest profitably, right? Because especially getting mixed in the little numbers, that's where you drive yourself insane. You make irrational decision making as well, because there's so much happening. Right now, gold accounts for less than 1% of the global investable capital. But as the above sentiment spreads throughout the mainstream with the investing community, typical portfolios for both individuals and institutions will contain increasing amounts of precious metals. To understand what a move from below 1% of a total investable funds, say, to 5% over the next few years would mean, it's helpful to compare the amount of capital in the world compared to the amount of gold. So estimates of how much gold exists above ground are all over the place, but most clusters around $10 trillion at current prices. See, that's a big number, but not when compared to other asset classes. Equities, for instance, about 100 trillion worldwide. So, and this chart's very interesting. It's very interesting, and you can see, comparing it, and let's take it even a step further. Even bigger are bonds and other debt instruments, 250 trillion. Real estate, 250 trillion. Other categories like cash and derivatives, let's ignore those and just add up the big three. That's $600 trillion. Now assume that 4% of this inflows into precious metals. You've got $24 trillion pouring into a $10 trillion sector, which doesn't sound physically possible unless the price of gold rises dramatically. And that's assuming that the endpoint is gold accounting for 5% of the average portfolio. In a world where increasing political and financial instability makes traditional financial assets, including cash, seem unduly risky, the percentage could be higher. You see what I'm saying? If everyday people, if people in stocks and they start to, especially with grocery stores starting to sell gold and silver, if it becomes more mainstream, more widely accepted, and even a very small percent goes into gold and silver, it's going to be astronomical for the prices, especially for a market like silver that's so small. I mean, gold's a pretty large market, generally speaking. Imagine a small market like silver. If people start putting money into that, once they realize, that it's more affordable, there's more potential, because that's usually what happens, right? Gold is the mascot. Gold is what drives people into the gold and silver world, the precious metals world. Then once they're investing in a gold, they hear about this more affordable, more profitable, more opportunistic investment, which is silver. Then they find the silver stacking videos and they start to buy silver, but it's usually stemmed from gold. Now, if that same thing falls due to what's happening now with this the mainstream spotlight, this could be huge, especially for silver. So yes, gold and silver are both perfect investments. There's so many reasons to invest in both of them. I personally just think there's more opportunity with silver. That's why I invest into silver. Gold and silver both should be invested. I mean, diversification is key. It is definitely key. And even diversifying beyond precious metals. I mean, investing into some stocks, Tesla, right? Apple, wherever, that's also going to benefit you. Use those short-term profits to reinvest back into precious metals for the longer term. So anyways, it even says right here, 3 opportunities to look into: Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, and that could be life-changing stuff, right? If you got in Microsoft in 88, you'd be a multimillionaire, billionaire. Amazon in 98, billionaire. Netflix in 2005, billionaire, millionaire. And this is the next big thing. And that's what he's saying right here. This could make you a millionaire multiple times over. And today's your next chance to get in early the next 3 big stages, which is going to be gold and silver. So anyways, if that's not a shot of hope or a hope shot for you, I don't know what is, right? The stars are aligning. The perfect storm is here. Everything is adding up, and it makes sense. It's blatantly obvious. The only reason someone wouldn't see these obvious signs is if they're straight up ignorant or closed-minded. I mean, some people are so set in their ways that they don't even acknowledge what's in front of them. That's scary, especially as an investor, because as an investor you have to learn how to adapt and adjust. Markets are ever changing, right? Everything's always changing. The people that are investing, the age, the amount of money, the markets themselves, the supply, the demand, everything is always ever changing. And if you don't change with it, then you're going to be I guess, handicapping yourself from a small point of view. And there's a lot more opportunity to be made out there, just like expanding or adjusting, adapting into cryptocurrency, adapting into maybe gold or different types of silver, or whatever the case is. You don't want to always be stuck in your ways about something. Try to expand outwards. There's so much more that the investing world has to offer, right? Because the end goal is financial freedom, and we want to capitalize at any given opportunity. So anyways, the link to this article from Seeking Alpha will be in the description. Like, again, if you thought this video was educational, informational, or at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. I post daily videos, 2 videos a day, usually one around noon, and then one around 8 or 9 p.m. every day. So stay tuned for those times if you want to see the scoop, the inside scoop on what's happening in the world of precious metals. This was Silver Slayer. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon.